Hello my lovelies, here are the Oracle Messages for Pisces for the month of May 2019. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for all of your views and your likes and sharing and your lovely comments. It really is delightful to read them and it's spurring me on and encouraging me with this channel. So I've tuned into your energies for May and I have a little vision for you, but also a snippet of a song. So it seems that the universe is making me use my voice on lots of different levels this month, and the vocal cords are getting tickled up. So the song is by Christina Aguilera, and as I say, it's just a little snippet of it, but it does make a great deal of sense with regard to the oracle cards that have shown up for you. So here we go. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words won't bring me down. Okay? So if anybody is bringing you down with saying that you're not beautiful or that they don't see the beauty within you, they are so wrong. They are so wrong. And a lot of the energies that are blessing you, and it feels like a real blessing for the month of May, is that self-acknowledgement that you are beautiful, beautiful within, and it's allowing that gorgeous energy to emerge from you, guys as well as girls. So it's the goddess energy, guys as well as girls, that deep-seated glow, that knowledge, that ancient wisdom that is rising to the surface. And so your beautiful Piscean energy of Neptunian things that have been hidden in the depths, or that you haven't even discovered yet. So it's like through the Mercury retrograde period, has been diving down into the depths because it was sitting in your sign for quite a long time. And we're happy to say that has now shifted into Aries. So when we dive down into the depths of things in our lives, it can look very dark and very gloomy, and you get the feeling, I just want to come up for air. But when we do visit these dark places and we have the courage to go as deep as we possibly can, you can discover there's a treasure chest at the bottom of that ocean, on the ocean floor. And so the angel card that's come up for you is beauty. So there's this gorgeous angel, looks like a magic wand, but it also looks like a bit of a feather duster, and she's wearing a really, really bright coloured outfit. Very vibrant, very stunning, gorgeous blonde hair. So there is the magic wand, so the universe is changing things for you in your life. It's not just that inner beauty, but it's sometimes how when we view ourselves and self-criticism and that sense of or I'll never be as good as they are, or I'll never look like that. And so sometimes buying into the media and saying, I have to have certain eyebrows, or I have to have spray tan every day, or I have to have a certain lippy on every day to look like everybody else. But you're unique, so to look like everybody else, you would lose that beauty, you would lose that uniqueness. And so I get the feeling that that illusion, which is associated with Neptune, which is the movies, which is celebrity, film stars, that sort of thing, which is projected out to us and saying you have to look like this for anybody to accept you, for you to be loved, for you to get anywhere in life. You have to look like all of these illusionary people. They're not real. They're human beings playing a part. they have a costume on, they have makeup on to make them look totally different. So this is you being able to step away from that sense of I have to follow the crowd, I have to join that team, otherwise I won't be accepted. So it's breaking that pattern, which is steeped in material energy, and it's a bit like a cult, really. Joining a cult, and they won't let you in to join unless you follow their rules. So there's this massive shift and change in you as I say, we moved out of Mercury in Pisces to now Mercury in Aries. So your energy has been released to find another route, another way. So I believe that Venus, the planet Venus, which is the planet of beauty, has moved into your sign. So it's you looking at yourself in a very, very different light, that inner beauty, that inner glow, wanting to come up to the surface, for you to acknowledge, for you to be happy with, and also for you to find contentment with. So when we are happy with ourselves, when we're content with what we've got, how we look, nothing else around us can bother us. We don't need all of that glitzy glamour to make us feel contented and happy, because the glamour is all illusion. It's all absolute illusion. So the contentment card, which is a self-mastery, it says, as a master, I have come to terms with and accept who I am. I no longer compare myself with others. So if you feel that you have to compare yourself with how other people look, how other people act, how other people dress, then you've given your power away. So to find contentment within yourself, you're gorgeous anyway. And it's an interesting word, contentment. If you break it down, content. So what we contain, so the content of something is what we actually contain. So when you are happy with what you actually have within you, and you don't need to tickle it up or enhance it with all this fake stuff, that's when this sense of, this contentment, it rests upon you, it rests within you, and you don't need to compare yourself to other people, because you're gorgeous, you're beautiful in every single way, and words cannot bring you down. So the words of others, and sometimes the words we say to ourselves. So when you look in the morning and in the mirror in the morning, you've got a bit of a thick head or a hangover, or you've been working really hard and maybe you haven't slept very well and you're feeling very tired, and you look in the mirror and think, oh Lord, maybe a bit of makeup would help, but it's not going so far as to saying I can't even walk out the door. What will people think? It doesn't matter what people think. You're beautiful in every single way. Now, so and the theme continues here, because we have a card from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle, and it's the Swan. So the story, as I say, the theme continues. If you know the story of Hans Christian Andersen's story of the ugly duckling, everyone around looked at this little duckling and said it was ugly, and it walked with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a flurry of eider down, and people took the mickey out of it and said how drab and dreary and unattractive it was, and I'm sure it was very hurt, very upset, and hid itself away for a while. And then when it did emerge again, look, it turned into this exquisite swan. So on another level, this says that doing the work on yourself, doing that inner work, that inner healing of discarding what other people say, discarding what anybody else might say about you or project onto you, you will find a very deep healing occurring. Though when people do say horrible things to us or criticize us, they're actually criticizing themselves and saying horrible things about themselves, because people project their stuff, their negative stuff, onto other people because they haven't dealt with it themselves. So when we look at any situation like that in this light, oh, so somebody else might need some deep inner healing as well. So it's also finding compassion for others and saying, well, why are they saying these things? It's because they're not happy with themselves. They don't see the beauty within themselves. They're not content within themselves. And from that, you can find that sense of, I see where they're coming from. I don't need to visit that again. So you will never attract that low vibrational energy to you again, because you've seen it, you've recognized it, you've acknowledged it, and you let it go. So this beautiful swan energy is about transformation and trusting your psychic gifts. So the transformation was the ugly duckling into the swan. So you are going through this very, very deep transformative period in your life, which for some of you can shake you to the core, because you're starting to recognize things within you that are beautiful. They're deeply, deeply beautiful and stunning and exciting and exhilarating. And some of these things are your psychic gifts. Now, some of you might think, well, I haven't got any psychic gifts. You know, I'm not psychic. Well, we all are. We all are. We all, to some degree, we are all psychic. We all have that intuitive knowing, that little gut instinct from time to time, when something feels right. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That really feels right. And another time when your gut just tells you, no, this doesn't feel right, I'm not going there. I really don't want to go there. And maybe friends or mates want to go off and do something. But your intuition is yelling at you, no, don't go there, don't do that. And when you pay attention to it, it's sort of a safety valve. And your mates might come back later and say, oh, God, I bet you're glad you didn't come. We had a terrible time. So always following that ability just to know. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac and ruled by the planet Neptune. So you are deeply psychic. You are deeply in tune with the cosmos, with the universe, what's going on. And so this huge transformation that's occurring to you is heightening those psychic gifts, that ability just to know. Now, swan energy is also about disillusion. So in the Native American tradition, the swan is about going into the dream time. So it's being able to see beyond the veil, as it is called, being able to see into the non-physical world, and to return from any visits that you make there with higher wisdom, with ancient knowledge, which you can then share with others. Swan energy is also about partnership for life. Swans always partner for life. So if one of them is injured or dies, the other one will never partner up with another swan. There's this bond between them, which is eternal. So there's a feeling for, in the collective, that a lot of people who've been on their own for a very long time are now starting to partner up and it is a bond for life. So you singlies out there who might have been on your own for quite a long time, doing the work, the inner work, and wondering, will I ever find anybody who is of a like mind, who is of a like soul, of a like heart? This is an indication, yes. You've had to do the work. You've had to go through that dark night of the soul, as it is called. You have to have taken the abuse from others to make that transformation, to find the compassion to say, I've moved beyond that, I forgive you. Because, as I say, whatever is said to us or projected onto us from others, it's their own wounds that they're not dealing with. And it is said of the 12th sign, the 12th house, when people incarnate with the sun in Pisces, they have walked many miles in another man's moccasins, which means you've had many, many lifetimes as all of the other signs. So you have an understanding of where everybody else is coming from. And it's finding that compassion and that inner understanding and that knowingness, perhaps to say flippantly, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I know exactly where you're coming from, because I've experienced all of that, and I don't need to do it again. I'm not going around on that wheel of karma yet again, because I've learned my lessons and I move beyond it. And I've asked for an animal for you, and this is lovely. Wolfie. Wolf medicine. Howling at the moon. So he's number 15, and 15 adds up to 6. So 6 is balance, responsibility, and love. It's finding that sense and way of balancing things in your life where you start with you. So that's that inner love, self-love, self-contentment. And the responsibility is realizing we are only responsible for ourselves and our happiness and our contentment and our way of living our lives. Because if it's been projected onto you from childhood, from family tradition, that you're responsible for everyone around you, that's a very heavy burden for a child to carry. And that pattern may have been carried through your family line for a very long time. So it can stop with you, because once it's acknowledged, you can say, well, that is not my responsibility. I do not claim that. I do not own it. That's an old patterning. That's an old program. And I choose to change it. Now, wolf energy is about the teacher. So it is an ability to teach others, and it is an ability for you to learn strong, powerful, sometimes very painful lessons. So the vision that I had for you right at before when I tuned in was of a mummy wolf with some cubs in a bit of a little dip or cave, and she had to leave them and go off and hunt and find some food, and she felt a bit unhappy about leaving them. But there was a whole pack of wolves around, so there was a big family of wolves around, and so all of the aunties said, don't worry, you go off and hunt and we'll look after the babies. And so this says to me that there's a if it hasn't already arrived, it is due any minute for you to be able to go off and hunt, whatever that might mean to you, and leave your babies. So yes, it can be your physical children, but I also get the sense that this can be your dreams, your ideas, your goals. You can leave them in safe hands, and that they will be respected, they will be honoured until you return. So this can also mean that some of you going hunting, it could be that you're studying, you're learning something new, you're completing a course of study maybe, you are working towards a qualification or a graduation in something, which you can then use to teach others, but your responsibilities, meaning the babies, the cubs, are being looked after by others. So others, yes, can be friends, family, etc., but it's also your higher self, looking after those aspects of your life which will be safe until you come back to them, because you can't focus on everything all at once. You take it one step at a time. So if you're off studying, learning something new, but you also have a job to do, you also have housework to do, you also have shopping to do, etc., etc. So all of those other things are taken care of. So this is about figuring out your priorities. What comes first? Well, you do. You come first, and then everything else can be listed. And a very good tip, and I use it myself most of the time, if I've got a to-do list, and I think, oh God, I'm never going to get through all of that, am I? What do I do first? So I set my alarm on my phone for 70 minutes, 70, 1 hour, 10 minutes. And so I get to work on a certain task. When the alarm goes off, and it's usually music rather than a bell ringing, I think, oh, right, oh gosh, that's gone fast, isn't it? 1 hour, 10 minutes. So I start with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and I sit for about 10 minutes. Then I reset my alarm. I can either go back to the task I was working on or start another one. And that gives me a good sense of rhythm throughout the day, knowing that I've given energy to that, energy to that, energy to that, and I can come back to them at any time. But at least I've worked on 2 or 3 things throughout the day, so I know that tomorrow, looking again at my list of priorities, I need to pay a bit more attention to that thing today. So again, set my alarm for 1 hour, 10 minutes, 70 minutes. And when the alarm goes off, have a break and maybe go back to it again for another 70 minutes. So at least I know my brain won't get completely befuddled, and I'm sort of honouring my my focus, my stamina, my want to do a certain task. I can also put the washing on at the same time. So at least I know I've got maybe two or three things going, or I've put, a stew in the oven. So all the preparation work, so putting the washing machine on, putting the stew together, bunging it in the oven, those things are already cooking and working. And then again, I've got my 70 minutes to work on something else. and I'm ticking off my list as I go. So I feel there's a new way of working for you. There's a new way of figuring things out in your life. So rather than head in hand and thinking, oh Lord, where do I start? What do I do with this? Give yourself a break. Give yourself a little system whereby you're giving a little bit of energy to all of these different things during the day, and then before you put your head on the pillow at night time, you can say, wow, that was a good day. That was a really good day. Got a lot done. Maybe I didn't complete everything, but I feel good about myself because I prioritize things, and I know that it works. I'm not beating myself up. I know that it actually works. I know I can leave certain things in good hands, knowing that it's safe, while I focus on something else, and when I come back to it, I'm just pick it up again. I'm working with this new pattern. And when we start to let go of old ways of doing things and start to work on a new pattern, which sits more comfortably with us, then it just becomes automatic. And you'll notice people around you saying, wow, you're looking really well. What are you doing? What are you taking? What are you eating? And you say, well, I've just found a rhythm to life that really suits me. And again, that can be taught to others, you know. So however you formulate this and find what works for you, then you can teach it to others. So the little Wolfie card, mini one, and it says, find new paths and options, break through, be a role model, share your inner knowing. New paths are just going to show up, you know. And we've just had this full moon in Libra on the 19th of April, which is at the 29 degrees. So 29 is a critical energy, adds up to 11. 11 is mastering your intuition, your visionary abilities, your psychic abilities, stepping through that gateway into that swan energy where wisdom sits, and being able to glean what it is you need and bring it back again and share it with others. Now I've put one of my paintings here because when the wolf card showed up, I thought, oh, right, I'm going to share this with you. Now, you probably can't see from there, so I'll bring it closer. Oh, actually, it's upside down, sorry. No wonder you can't see it. So there's Mummy Wolf. And there's Baby Wolf. And there's Mummy Wolf's paw. So the energy of this painting, and I didn't know what was going to show up when I put the colours on the page, it's very protective. So Mummy Wolf is sort of slinking down, protecting the little baby. So I'm gifting the energy of this painting to you. For the month of May. All of my artwork contains sacred water from the chalice well at Glastonbury, and also sacred ash, which is known as vibhuti, and I mix that with the paint. So whenever you view any of my paintings, you're getting a blast of healing energies. If you're interested in a copy, details are below. And my feeling for you, and I feel it goes beyond May, is this sense of lightness now, of being able to let go of those dark, heavy burdens you've been carrying, because of those aspects of your life which you felt you couldn't put down, they've been taken care of. Some of them will be removed by the universe. Some of them will leave you. Some of them will disappear, depart. And it's for you to be able to say, phew, I'm glad that's gone, but not, as I said before, head in hands and think, oh my God, it's gone, it's left me. Because you need to be lighter. You need to be able to not keep looking at the past. Focus on the now. So to finish off with, we have a card from Gordon Smith's 5 Keys to Happiness, and it is from the Space Family, and it's the Ring of Stars. So there's a beautiful diamond there, surrounded by stars. And it's number 5. 5 is adventure, constructive freedom. So the ability to construct something in your life that gives you a sense of freedom, moving away from all sorts of restriction. If what you seek is the clear light of reality, then remember that it is protected in the stars. A ring of white stars encircles a flawless diamond in the center of space. You seek the ultimate in pure consciousness and enlightenment. You found your destiny, now you must follow it to the end. So something's showing up for you, destiny-wise, and you need to follow it. So rather than hiding away or fearing what might be, is to bring that inner wisdom up from the depths and follow that star, follow that destiny, very bright, shining light. And I feel that for some of you, this is a very grand awakening. It's you waking up to, yes, your psychic abilities, but it's more than that. It's much deeper than that. It is you birthing your soul. Your soul is awakening. It is calling you, beckoning. Come on. There's more to this. There's more to this than meets the eye. There's more to this lifetime. There's more adventures to be had. There's more people to meet. There's more wisdom to share. And I feel that for some of you with the wolf energy, you are teachers. And you have been teachers in other lifetimes. So you've brought through an awful lot of wisdom anyway. The 12th house, Pisces, is to do with past lives. So if you have been born with the sun in Pisces, you have brought an awful lot with you. So the ring of stars is a bit like the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Karma, and I'd say for an awful lot of light workers, teachers, healers, that karmic cycle is coming to an end. We don't need to do it again. We've done it so many times before, we don't need to repeat it again. And this is how you can assist others in moving beyond that. So this feels like the messages for you for May. It's quite deep. But you are the fish, one of which swims to the bottom and one of which swims to the top. So you have an ability to go deep, to explore, to investigate the deep meaning of things and then bring it back up to the surface. So for you to remember, you're beautiful. No matter what they say, words can't bring you down. So I'll leave that with you, my lovelies. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking and subscribing. Please subscribe, because that really helps me bring the channel to to more viewers, and for my message to reach more people. And again, if you'd like any further information about my artwork or a private session with me, all the details are in the box below. So I wish you well for May. Leave me some comments, let me know how you get on. And have another look at the video at the end of May, because some of it might not make sense at the moment, but things will be revealed to you by the end. So I love you and leave you. See you next time. Bye.